something to do with Jewish.
It's like a Jewish dinner every Friday night.
It's Jewish tradition.
You guys know about it?
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Big dinner, Jewish holiday, big dinner on Friday for something, right? Isn't it like a big celebration for God? Right?
It's the end of something.
End of what?
Lent.
Mecca. No, Mecca's, well, no, God.
Lent's Christian.
Oh, the best time ever. I love it. You go everything. Guys, what you want? I don't know.
So Shabbat is the period of time from Friday to Saturday, and the concept is that on the seventh day, God rested. So from sundown on Friday night to sundown on Saturday is the Jewish period of Shabbat.
I think my favorite part about Shabbat is the community that surrounds Shabbat. It's made up of all walks of life, religions, races, genders. Anyone is welcome, and there's absolutely delicious food that everyone should eat because best dining option on campus in my opinion. So I think this community of people that are just willing to come, sit down, share a meal, get to know each other is really cool because I've met a lot of very, very different people that I wouldn't have if it weren't for Shabbat.
I'm not Jewish in any way, shape, or form, but I have a Jewish friend, and he was like, come to Shabbat. It's a lot of fun. You'll meet a lot of Jewish people, and I got to learn more about what would go into a bar mitzvah, quote unquote. So one day I'm going to have my own bar mitzvah.
I hope that Hillel adds a welcoming presence to the HWS community. My hope is that we contribute to the campus conversation about important things that are happening in our community or in our country or on our campus, that we can share Jewish values in a way that is understandable regardless of the tradition that you come from, and that we can add perspective to a conversation that might not come from a different place.
At Shabbat dinner you hear a little bit of Yiddish, you hear kids talking, you hear kids having a good time. There's the Kiddush, the blessings, and it's something that's completely unique on campus that you only get to really experience once a week, and that's why you keep coming back.
I really enjoyed it. I was again impressed that there were probably anywhere from 50 to 60 students there, and I really had no idea that it was that big. And so it was great to see some familiar faces, meet some new students, because I usually only see a certain group of students through my office, so it's good to meet students from different walks of life and different parts of campus.
A lot of times in Shabbat we bring up like really interesting topics brought up by Julianne Moore, and it's really been interesting. Over the past couple of weeks we've talked about like birthright, and it's really inspired me to look into it a bit more.
We have a Rainbow Shabbat in April for LGBT inclusion, and we talk about the value of inclusion within the Jewish community. We have Israel Shabbat, where we talk about birthright and people share their pictures and share their experiences. So there's the opportunity to delve deeper into some of those topics, some of those teachings that are of interest to people, but there's also an opportunity to just come to Shabbat and relax and eat and talk and be yourself at the end of a long week.
It definitely gave me a sense that like there was a place that I did belong on this campus, literally, because this is my identity. Like a large portion of my identity is my the Jewish part of me. So I think in that sense, but also just kind of in the sense that it gave me a chance to meet new people, and I joined the board as a first-year representative, and I met upperclassmen who kind of gave me advice and really made me feel like I was a valued part of the community, and just a chance to meet new people, and a chance that I knew that I had a place where everyone was welcome, and so that was really cool.
I think it brings them all together to sit at one table instead of being scattered amongst saga. So that way you're at a table, you talk better. You'll sit next to somebody you might not sit next to in saga.
Kind of cheesy, but I like the people. As it's fresh or senior year for me, we don't have as much time to hang out with each other, like all the people in my friend group, my sales unit. So it's nice that we've kind of made it our thing to like all go together in the same night. At one point we had like 10 people in our one group, which is kind of cool. And it's definitely kind of difficult to try and keep that up, but it's nice that it's still like one specific point where we all can come together at the end of the week.
I know for us, like, sometimes dinner time is really busy, and now that all of our friends live off campus, we don't eat dinner together every day anymore. We don't plan to go to Saga every day together. So now it has been a time and place every week that we will all come to Shabbat and all sit down together and have dinner together.
That's true. Yeah. Like Passovers are always really busy. Like there's like 75 people sometimes, and being on the Hillel board, we bring out the food and set up the tables and everything. So I kind of just like bringing out the food and serving people because I just feel like I'm a Jewish mother in preparation, getting ready to like serve all my children and like family members. But yeah, I mean, that's what my favorite part of Shabbat kind of is, like bringing out the food, making sure everybody's happy, and like enjoying Shabbat together.
The most important thing, I think, for any student to know about Shabbat or any of the activities that are sponsored by the Office for Spiritual Engagement is that you're welcome anywhere, at any time, regardless of your background, regardless of your religion or spirituality or lack thereof. All of the programming that is sponsored by our office is open to absolutely everyone. There are no strangers. You walk in the door, you're welcome, and you can participate at whatever level you feel comfortable. So I would encourage you to explore those places with which you're not necessarily familiar, because I think you'll find good food always, but especially good friends.